What's up, beautiful people? My name is Daniel Jocz of Jocz Productions, and since we're in this goofy year that is 2020, and I'm going to be your teacher, either you're going to be on my roster and I'm going to be teaching you online through Zoom, or you're just some person on the internet looking for some help in your history or your government classes, I just figured now would be a good time to share a little bit about who I am and what this channel is all about. Let's get it going. So one of the first things you should know about me is I hated school as a student. Hated it. In fact, this is one of my middle school photos. I think it's like 6th grade. We called it junior high back in the day. And my nickname on the streets was Twinkie Man or Donut Boy. So I was a little chubby or big boned as they say. And just to give you an idea of how dorky I was, I'm literally wearing a Slamtastic t-shirt, a shirt that says Slamtastic on picture day. That's got to be child abuse that my parents let me go out and in public with that thing. Now, my first real memory of school was actually in kindergarten, and I remember it was our culmination, not a graduation, and we had to go up in front of the entire school and get on the microphone and say what we were going to be when we grew up, like we had it all figured out at the age of 5 or 6. And all the different people in my classes went up to the microphone and said things like, I'm gonna be a doctor. Someone said they're gonna be an astronaut. Someone was so bold as to say they're gonna be president of the United States. And me, I was a shy kid, and I was terrified about speaking, especially on a microphone. And when it was my turn, I went up to that microphone, stood in front of it for a solid minute, everyone yelling at me saying, speak, speak, you can do it. And I blurted out, mailman. And so that's what I wanted to be when I grew up, and everyone laughed. And I wasn't trying to be funny. I thought that was the coolest gig in the world. You get to roll around with no door or the door being open. You drove on the other side of the car and you gave people stuff. And I didn't know you were giving them bills and things they didn't want, but I thought that was a cool gig, and I got laughed at because of it. And that memory stuck with me because it kind of reinforced me being a shy person. And in school, whether it be middle school when I was the donut boy or the Twinkie Man, or in high school, I really didn't apply myself all that well. In fact, you can look at this report card and some parts look pretty good. I got some B's and A's, but you will notice I did not take any AP classes or honors classes. I found the teachers that were chill, and that's where I went. You could see I did struggle in Algebra 2 with the fail US. Now, in spite of this, I was still an impressive student, because if you take a look at this, if you take Algebra 2 once and fail it, which I did, take it again and fail it, which I did, and then take it a third time, technically, you have taken Algebra 6, which how many of you have taken Algebra 6? Probably not a whole lot of you. This brings me back to my path to teaching. If I wasn't really the greatest student, I was super shy, how in the heck am I now spending most of my adult life, as of 2020, I'm in year 16 of teaching students? Well, when I graduated high school, I actually took some classes at the local community college just so I can keep my health insurance with my parents, and ended up in some history classes by some brilliant people who threw books at me and said, read this, moron. And I did. And I ended up transferring to UCLA. And I even had some stuff in Latin written on my diploma. I didn't even know what it meant, because I was the first in my family to go to college, and I graduated with honors, and I majored in history with the goal of becoming a teacher. So this little kid who was rocking this Slamtastic t-shirt started teaching in 2004, and in 2016,
looks like we made it. Look how far we've come.
I was in the White House stealing toilet paper and napkins and eating all sorts of cool little snacks, and I got to hang out for a brief moment with President Barack Obama as a result of being named California Teacher of the Year, and I was one of 4 finalists for National Teacher of the Year. Even cooler than hanging out in the White House was when we got to go a couple days earlier to the Vice President's mansion, which you would think a history teacher would know. I didn't even know there was a Vice President's mansion. There's me and my wifey taking photos, but I need to really quickly rewind for a moment. So in 2004, I started teaching at a school named Downtown Magnets High School. Really creative name, I know. 95% of the students were Title I, which basically means living in poverty. Nearly 100% students of color. most of them were going to be the first in their family to go to college. Not to mention the school looked like a warehouse, because it was. There was not one single window in any of the classrooms. You're looking at actually the PE field, because we had no auditorium, we had no PE field. We were just in downtown Los Angeles, and students would literally run around the parking lot with the 101 freeway right on the other side of the building. For those of you that appreciate irony, you know, what could you use as the mascot for a school with no windows? Oh, you guessed it, boys and girls.
Here comes the sun.
We were the Suns. It was so pathetic. Our school had made our own little paper mascot because we couldn't find a Sun mascot to actually purchase. Everyone was confused. What the heck are you? So we actually had to recreate it and then literally write the word Sun on it so that people would know what the heck we were. But the school had a lot of heart, and this leads me to the story of Jocz Productions. When I first found out I was going to be teaching APUSH, I just graduated from UCLA for a second time, this time with my graduate degree in education and my teaching credential. And my parents were super proud because I was the first Jocz in our family to graduate from college, and I got word I'm going to be teaching APUSH. I didn't even know what that course was. I didn't hang out with the AP kids back in the day, and I didn't take the class myself. I thought maybe it was some new street gang that I was going to be teaching, some kind of like after school program. I had no clue what I was getting myself into. I had to recruit like crazy to try to get people to take the course because AP classes were not exactly the thing to do back in 2004 at downtown Magnet High School. So I put my ugly bug on little posters, put them all over campus, and got a decent turnout. And in my first year, we had a 26% pass rate, which in Los Angeles Unified School District, which is where I work, that was the same pass rate for the district as a whole. And I remember when I got the results, I was like, is this good? Is this bad? It seems really bad. The assistant principal actually emailed me and said, good job. This is one of the highest pass rates we have in our AP program. And I was like, that's sad. We need to do something about this. And so I made it my mission not only to teach the complex history of the United States to my students, but also put them in the best position possible to pass the exam to get the college credit so they could be the first in their family, like I was, to graduate college. So I started grinding, trying to develop a program, and this is what happened.
Don't stop believing.
Now, there are a lot of people on the internet that'll throw out numbers, 100% of my students pass, but oftentimes they're not telling you the whole story. And the whole story is this: a lot of schools will decide who gets to take an AP class. There's gatekeepers, so only certain students get enrolled, or not everyone will actually take the test. I am proud to say that as our numbers began to go up, we kept the program open enrollment. Anybody could take the class. We had students that were reading at a 6th grade level passing the exam, and everybody took the test. So this ain't no fake data, fake numbers trying to like make anybody look good. This is the result of the hard work of my students at downtown Magnet High School. Now you'll notice this number stopped in 2014, and there's a reason for that. And boys and girls, it's this: the pass rate dropped to 66%, which is still really good, way above the national average, way above our district average. But the reason for it is there was a big redesign for all the AP history classes. The test was going to become even harder. Not only did you have to kind of really know your history, but all parts of the exam involved heavy reading and writing tasks, which if you're taking the course, you know what I'm talking about. That DBQ, for example, and the stimulus-based multiple choice questions. Now for my students, many of them, English is their second language. This was a struggle. I could get you to understand the content, but to develop writing skills, especially figuring out those complicated rubrics, there wasn't enough time in the day. And I was super bummed that our pass rate took a hit, but I was determined to figure out how can I continue to teach the content and work on the skills. And that's how Jocz Productions was created. I basically knew I needed to create some videos to help out students in history and government learn content so we could do the practicing of the skills in our class. I didn't even give it a creative name. I was just like, I'm producing things super bootleg, just me at my computer. I didn't want myself to be in the video because usually I'm all tired and looking like a hot mess. But to date, we've had 2.1 million hours worth of history and government content has been viewed. And if you break that down, and you can trust me because I've taken Algebra 6, that is over 87,000 days worth of content that has been helpful, hopefully, to students and teachers all over the world. As a result of kind of creating these resources since 2016, my students have averaged above a 90% pass rate. And so we're kind of going strong, keeping the program open to anybody, everybody taking the test, and that's super important to me. Which leads me to a few last words. I am not a YouTuber. You know, ever since I was Teacher of the Year and my name kind of blew up, I've had pretty much every review website, app, all these different people try to hit me up, try to get me to go join them, create content for them, get paid a ton of cash, and then charge you fine, wonderful people some money to access these review materials. And I ain't about that life. I want to just help out as many folks as I can for free. If you want to show your love or support the channel, we have a Venmo link and a PayPal link in the description. So if these resources help you out, you know, chip in. But if not, no big deal, just give it a thumbs up. And to close out, I'm going to share 2 fun facts that you would probably never have guessed about me, Daniel Jocz. 1, I got married on a reality TV show. Yes, boys and girls, me. In order for us, my wife and I, not to have to pay for a wedding, we went on a really stupid TV show called My Fair Wedding. And they paid for our whole wedding and it was super over the top, but we had to sell our soul and pretend because reality TV is fake. So one day maybe I'll make a video all about that. So I was actually on a reality TV show. I'll put the link in the description. We purely did it because we both teachers and we were trying to have a nice wedding. The second fun fact about me, until I was 24 years old, I had never gone anywhere further from my hometown of Los Angeles except Las Vegas. That was it. We grew up pretty broke. But since 2004, when I became a teacher, I started traveling and teaching during the summers all over the world. And to date, I've been to like 38 countries, many of which I actually taught. So in Indonesia, South Africa, a lot of different places around the world. And usually I teach for a few weeks, get a little coin in my pocket, and then travel for the rest of the summer and see this wonderful planet Earth that we have. Now, COVID screwed that whole thing up, but maybe I'll make some videos about travel. Anyways, y'all, that's the story of me and how I became a teacher and why I'm here on the internet, maybe helping you out. And if you ever want to help out the website, link in the description. And if you find these resources helpful, spread the word, tell all your friends. That's going to do it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a beautiful day. Peace. Slamtastic.